Okay, here's another workout on the tune Fly Me to the Moon. And I want to, every tune that you learn, and especially this one, because this one is what every other tune in the world does, is you start off memorizing the chord progression. So we go A, D, G, C, F, B, E, A, D, G, C. That should be a D right there. It's not. D minor. So you go to this point. Memorize it. A, D, G, C, F, B, E, A, D, G, C. Boom, I memorized to there. And then do the triads. So on. And then go ahead and put the G sharp in there. But make sure that you memorize saying A, D, G, C, F, B, E, A, D, G, C. Then you want to be able to say A minor, D minor, G major, C major, F major, B diminished, E major, A minor, D minor, G major, C. Then when you do, then you memorize that section. Then do your seventh chords: A minor, D minor, G7, C major, F major, B half diminished, E7, A minor, D minor, G7, C major. So that you really know what you're doing there, and also learn the same chords with your right hand. A, D. And why? You can do the seventh or not, but at least get the triads. Why are we going to do that? Because when you start memorizing and then improvising, I mean, you're going to need to be able to know what the chords are there. So then memorize it so that you know the chords that well. Then you do your top two, bottom two, top two. But when you do that, make sure that you know you're playing A, D, G, C. And that when you play a chord in this position, there's the root. When you play it in this position, there's the root. So A minor, D minor, G7, C major, F major, B half diminished, E7, A minor, and so on. And getting it all the way down to the end of that little sequence there. Then the melody's a cinch because the melody's following the chords. But what we do want to see is in doing these chords that your hand position stays perfect. When you play the melody, so that your hand is always very efficient. And the same with the chords. We want to see that. We want to see, well, I'll have to get up here. Keeping your hand shape all the time. That's memorized. Now when you get here, every piece has strange little places. So right there, you literally just have to memorize probably exactly what the notes are, like a leading tone to D, up a fifth, and you just know you're going to C and going to G. Then the next little section, you got to know you go below a C, play that little pattern, and you go up to an A. Because otherwise, you're not going to hear it that well. All right, so we've gotten that part, and we're down to there with melody and chords. Right, another thing is to observe the sequential patterns. The melody, of course, is the same pattern over and over again. Okay, there's a 2 measure, and then this one starts the same way. Then another 2 measure, and this one is like the last 2 of the first line. And you'll notice actually you have a 4 measure sequence that's exactly repeated. And it's exactly repeated here. Then here's your something different, and so on. Alright, now when you get to this point, so you've memorized down to there. Now what we're going to memorize is this other sequence of 1, 6, 2, 5. Or C major, A minor, D minor, G major. C major, A minor, D minor, G7. And in your book showing your chord progressions, the ones that show the 1, 6, 2, 5, that's after the circle of fifths in a key, right here, or 1, 6, 2, 5, you're going to see that on the 5 chord we're going to add a ninth. So it's going to be, and then you're going to actually have a ninth in there, root, third, fifth, 7, 9. But just like any other chord progression, instead of jumping around, and this is on in your circle of fifths section in your jazz book, in your pink book, we're going to not move all around. So this is C, E, G, B. All right, I'm going to go to the 6th chord, not by dropping down, but by dropping just this one note. And see, I still have A, C, E, G. So I still have C major 7, A minor 7. Now I drop my middle 2, and you've got a finger there, and you can move this finger down there, and that's D, F, A, C. So you can see that's a D minor chord. So C major, drop the A, and you're playing A minor 7, drop the middle 2, and you're playing D minor 7. Now we're going to drop just the bottom one and pretend that the G's down there. You're actually playing a B half diminished, but you're going to think of it as a G9. So that's your pattern.